What if I told you that an ancient spiritual text, one that's thousands of years old, might contain a surprisingly detailed step-by-step description of how a star lives and dies? Sounds a bit like science fiction, right? Well, a really fascinating interpretation of a Vedic hymn suggests exactly that. So let's pull back the curtain and dive into this ancient cosmic drama.
I mean, that's the big question here, isn't it? Could this ancient poetry actually be describing modern astrophysics? We're going to follow this interpretation and see just how closely these two stories, one ancient, one modern, really line up. It's pretty wild.
Okay, so to really get this story, we first need to meet our main characters. But here's the thing. In this interpretation, they aren't gods or people in the way you might think. They're fundamental cosmic forces and objects, just given these incredible poetic names. So first up is the central character, the yajna. Now, traditionally, a yajna is a sacred fire ritual here on Earth. But in this cosmic version, it's something way, way bigger. It's reimagined as a cosmic engine, the star itself. Our sun is the yajna, a celestial furnace burning on a scale that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Right, and every engine needs fuel. In our story, that fuel is called soma. In the Vedas, soma is usually this divine drink, like a nectar of the gods. But here, in this cosmic drama, soma is the stuff that actually powers the star. It's the hydrogen and helium, the fusible material in the star's core. So we've got our engine, the yajna, and we've got its fuel, soma. Simple enough, right? Well, here's where the plot thickens. No engine can run forever. What happens when that divine fuel, the soma, starts to run out? This is the moment the drama really begins, because our cosmic engine starts to sputter and fail. And get this, the text describes the star itself making a declaration. Can you imagine that? The core of the sun basically says, "Now I will not be your food." It's such a poetic way of saying it can't provide nourishment anymore. Or, in scientific terms, it can no longer produce energy. The fire is dying. And this is our first jaw-dropping parallel. Look at this. On the left, you have the ancient interpretation. The yajna, the star, refuses to be food. And on the right, you've got modern astrophysics. Nuclear fusion in the star's core stops. It's two completely different languages describing the exact same catastrophic cosmic event. So the star's internal engine has shut down. There's nothing pushing outwards anymore. And that's when a new force takes center stage, a force that's been there all along, just waiting. Gravity. And it is absolutely relentless. You have to understand, a star's entire life is this beautiful, perfect balancing act. You've got the explosive outward force of nuclear fusion pushing out, and the colossal inward pull of gravity squeezing in. But when that fusion stops, poof! The balance is broken, gravity wins, and it starts crushing the star under its own unbelievable weight. It's this incredible chain reaction. Okay, so step 1, the fuel runs out. Step 2, the outward pressure is gone. Step 3, gravity takes over completely. And all of this intense compression leads to what the source poetically calls a great churning of the core, just a violent, chaotic collapse. The star is collapsing. The engine is dead. You think that's it, right? Game over. But according to this hymn, not even close. In this moment of total crisis, a call goes out for a divine intervention. A call for cosmic physicians to come and literally heal the dying star. And here are the heroes of our story. The Ashwins. In Vedic mythology, these guys are twin horsemen. They're the doctors of the gods, famous for performing miraculous healing. But in our cosmic drama, their patient isn't a person, it's the dying star. They are literally summoned to fix the unfixable. But what are these divine healers really? I mean, in scientific terms? Well, according to this interpretation, they aren't beings at all. The Ashwins are basically poetic code for fundamental forces of physics, Vayu and Vidyut, or gas and electricity. This means the healing isn't some magic trick. It's a powerful act of physics about to take place. So here we are at the final act. We've got our dying, collapsing star, and our cosmic paramedics, gas and electricity, have just arrived on the scene. The big question is, how do they bring a star back from the brink of death? And this is where it all comes together.
It's just incredible. The hymn says the Ashvins heal the yagna, they restore it. Science tells us how. That great churning, the immense heat and pressure from the gravitational collapse, gets so extreme that it triggers a whole new round of nuclear fusion. The star's own dead rattle becomes the spark of its rebirth. The divine healing is the physics of the engine restarting itself. Wow.
So we're left with this really cool question. Is this hymn just a beautiful, poetic metaphor, using the language of gods and rituals to describe the heavens? Or could it be something more? A trace of a sophisticated, forgotten science encoded in a story to be passed down through the ages? It kind of makes you wonder if the line between our oldest myths and our latest scientific discoveries is really as clear as we think it is.